Have you ever wondered about how to best learn a language? Taking language classes surely is a great way to do it. But in recent years, a field of research has gained more popularity that spotlights another, or as you might say, complementary way: informal second language learning. In this video, I will explain to you what this term stands for, why you should engage in it, and give you some tips to get started. So what exactly is this term, also known under the acronym of ISLL? First of all, when you search anything related to informal or formal language, you usually end up finding information about different language registers, which is probably also what most people have in mind when they hear about informal and formal language. Informal language would be the register that you use to talk to your family, friends, or peers, for example, while formal language is a register that you use to talk to a boss, superior, or stranger. Informal second language learning has little to do with the different registers of language, but more so with the context of learning a language. ISLL means the oftentimes subconscious learning of a language outside of structured learning environments. A classical such structured environment would be school, where you learn a language with the help of a teacher and material specifically made for learners at an easier language level. Grammar is introduced to you step by step, and you continually expand your vocabulary with the list of words that your book provides you with. Informal language learning, however, means that you, the language learner, are more so in control of your learning and that it takes place outside of a structured learning environment. It can be anything from reading a book in the language you are learning up to watching a movie or talking to someone. The materials are usually chosen by you, follow your interests, and are not adapted for language learners, which is why it may be a little difficult sometimes to follow conversations or means that you will not understand every word. Now, why should you engage in informal second language learning? ISLL researchers, which are often united under more terms with more or less different focuses or meanings, such as extramural English, or terms that aim at specific activities and languages, such as, for example, OILY, which focuses on online activities and learning English, have been able to show that ISLL can lead to increased vocabulary and especially improved receptive skills, such as listening and reading. Depending on the activity you engage in, you can further improve more and different skills. Let's say you engage in a group chat with some English users, for example. In this case, you would also improve your productive, aka your writing skills. In my opinion, however, as a casual language learner, you don't even need to look into the science part too deeply and can simply look at the nature of language learning or any kind of learning in general. The more you do it, the better you get. The more you absorb, the more you will learn and be able to mimic. Just like babies who learn their native languages over years, first by listening for a very long time span and then slowly starting to produce more and more sophisticated language themselves, engaging much and deeply with a language will boost your learning. Plus, if you engage with something you like anyways, it will be much more fun as you are naturally much more interested. Imagine loving computer games, for example. You can switch your settings to English, chat in English, and maybe even talk to other players in English. Or if you love reading, you can switch to English books, etc. Indeed, a main finding of ISLL research has shown that it can boost motivation and offers effective benefits too. There are so many ways of engaging with language that really, you are only limited by your own imagination. Let's finish up with some tips to get you started. Engaging in ISLL can be difficult in the beginning, especially if you are not very knowledgeable and fluent in the language you are trying to learn. Facing a lot of new words can be challenging, if not frustrating. Thus, it is best to be already somewhat familiar with the language, especially high-frequency words. That's words that are used very often, such as the and personal pronouns, common verbs like be, have, go, etc. are the baseline that you should know. Referring to the common European framework of reference for languages, reaching an A2 language level might be a good goal before starting ISLL on your own. Once you have a decent basis, My tip number 1 would be to look at the children's section. No matter whether we're talking about books, movies, or games, content made for children is usually simpler and slower and thus will be easier to delve into. The same also goes for older movies like from the 1990s or 2000s, to name one example. Dialogues used to be slower and somewhat simpler linguistically back then. My tip number 2 would be to go over content you are already familiar with. Let's say you have a favorite book or movie that you have already watched or read multiple times. Switching to the language you desire to learn will present a low threshold, as missing out on certain words will not frustrate you too much. You still know what's going on and how the action is interconnected, and the familiar context will help you to decode many potentially unfamiliar words. My tip number 3 is to make use of the many free options and media you can use to learn a language. YouTube videos, for example, are a great source and full of entertaining videos you can watch. Note also that there are many options to simplify or ease engaging with language digitally nowadays. Many videos or movies present you with the option of slowing down or using subtitles. Also, reading books digitally lets you easily look up a word in your native language or give you a simple explanation in the language you're learning. Also, libraries or free platforms like some German TV channels that are government funded can be great sources of materials without having to spend too much money or time searching for materials. I hope this video helped you and gave you some ideas for informally learning the languages you intend to learn. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comment section. Thank you for watching.